Hey everyone, how y'all doing? So welcome back to the channel. This is going to be project number 3 of 2025, and it's actually knife related, so that's good. But this is something I've had for over a year now. I got this 2 Christmases ago from the wife, and I never got around to doing it. It looks like it could be fun. It also looks like it could be a pain in the butt, but it's pretty cool. That's a little DIY build-a-knife kit. Rough Ryder Custom Shop. The item number is RRCS6. This is a little lockback knife, and figured to start working on it. It's going to take me multiple days and times out here working on it, but I'm going to try to condense it all into one video. So I'm not going to record everything I do, but I'll record parts of each step. But yeah, let's go over this real fast. I did do a video on this about a year ago, just looking at it, but you get a pretty decent instruction list, which most of this assembly list is putting this wooden scales onto the liners, which, as you can see, they already did it for you. You don't have to glue these on. I kind of wish I did have to glue them, because I would have done a neater job at it. But pretty cool looking wood. I'm not sure what kind of wood it is. Steel liners. Building it with steel bolsters. You can see they're actually split. It's all spot welded. Got all kinds of excess glue. Got a big burr up here around the pivot hole. Here's the other one. This one's just plain nasty looking. All that crap on there. So gonna have to sand this all down. Line up the get the transitions from the scales to the bolsters right. Clean all that up. Then it's gonna take a lot of polishing and the bolsters and everything. But you got the 2 scales, or 2 liners with the scales. Pretty wicked looking blade right here. Very pointy. But this thing is not sharp at all. As you can see, the edge rounded right off. So that's going to take some work to sharpen this. It's probably 440A steel, I would imagine. You got back spring, lock bar, and pins. So it looks like you got 1 long brass pin, 4 short ones, then 3 steel pins. And yeah, you pin over the ends, and it should do it. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to go about this. Like I said, I'm not going to record every step, everything along the way, just each step. But I think the first thing is going to have to be trying to clean up these things. And I started out with the idea I was going to try to do as much of it as I could with my multi-tool, my Victorinox Spirit X. So I got the file out, and I started filing it. And as you can see, after less than a minute, I canned that idea and got out the Dremel tool, because this is going to take a while. Maybe I will get my Dremel tool out. Okay, so I have my little Dremel tool. This is a Dremel 2050. Can't remember the name of this thing now, but it's a pretty lightweight, light duty little Dremel tool. I have a sanding disc on there. Give this a shot. Okay, so I got a lot of that glue cleaned up. I got it sanded down pretty even to the liner. The contour here, you know, it needs a little bit of work. It's a little high up here. Not too bad though. So that's the first one. It's going to take a lot more polishing and sanding and everything. So that's one. I'm going to see if I can knock this one out. I might call it a night for a while. Hi, Sam. Look at Sammy came to visit. Broke into the garage. Yeah, I got a fresh sanding drum on there, so let's see what we can do to this one. Not too bad. It's going a lot easier than I thought it would with the Dremel. I'm starting off sanding with 220 grit sandpaper. That scrap piece of sandpaper. Here I'm just using the Dremel tool to sand down some big burrs around the pinholes. Now I'm going to 320 grit sandpaper. There was a lot of deep scratches, so I decided to try to get the orbital sander and sand some of the deep scratches out. It actually worked pretty good. Now I'm moving up to 400 grit sandpaper. Now I'm moving up to 600 grit sandpaper, and with the 600 and 800 I'm gonna wet it. So I got a cup of water to dunk it in, do a little wet sanding now. Now I'm moving up to 800 grit sandpaper, and again I'm going to wet sand with this, and this is going to be the highest grit that I'm going, 800. So after the 800 grit sandpaper, I'm going to polish it using the little polishing buffing wheel on the Dremel tool. And all I have is this Meguiar's Ultimate Compound, but it seems to work pretty good. You know, it's not the best compound, but use it, enough of it, it does polish things up. Yeah, it would really help if I had it plugged in. But yeah, it's time to get started assembling. So check out the directions here. It says you need a 0.002 shim stock, 2000 shim stock. I do not have any, and the smallest I have in my feeler gauges is 0.003. So it's a little bit thicker, but I'm gonna I'm going to make a real tight 3, and that's to set the pivot so there's not a lot of play or it's not too tight. But yeah, I guess next part is trying to assemble it. Okay, so I boarded the struggle bus big time with this part, trying to get these 2 pins in. I could get 1 pin in, but I could not get the other one. I put it together, took it apart, I beat on it, I tried to pry it. I don't even know how I ended up finally getting it. I think I had to depress the lock bar all the way in to loosen it up enough to move it enough to get the pin in. But yeah, it took me a good 25-30 minutes screwing around with this. I'm only showing you a small portion of it. But yeah, that was the worst part of it. Alright, so I got the pins in finally. Gonna have to cut them off. I don't know. now realize that I should have assembled the knife before I polished up the handles, because now I'm going to have to start all over again. I gouged them with a cutoff wheel. You can see here I'm trying to file down, sand down a pin sticking up. Yeah, definitely assemble it and then polish it up. So it's all together, got everything peened over. I need to tighten that pivot just a touch. There's just a little bit of play, but as you can see, I marred the bolsters all up. They look terrible now. I did that cutting the pins, the 3 long pins, actually the 4 long pins were too long, had to cut them. I used the cutting wheel, marked it up, plus hammering on it, kind of marked them up. So the next step is basically what I already did. Start polishing this thing up. I'll sand the pins down with the sanding drum. I'll work my way up through the sandpapers until I get a halfway decent finish. I'll sand the wood a little bit. I'll probably spray it with some top coat, protect it a little bit, give it a little shine. And then I will return and show you the final product. Now, the blade needs sharpening. I am probably not going to spend the time sharpening this right now. When I do, I might do a video on it, but yeah, the blade is not sharp at all. That's going to take some time, and I really don't want to invest any more time into this knife right now. But next time you see it, it'll look a lot better. Okay, let's finish this video up. Here's the outcome of the knife after I repolished it, and it's not the greatest. There's still scratches and dings in the bolsters. I really need to spend more time. Now, I did sand the wood covers a little bit, and I sprayed it with a Rust-Oleum satin clear enamel to protect them a little bit. And of course, the blade still needs to be sharpened. That's going to take some time, so I'm calling it done, this project done, but it's going to be revisited because I want to make it look a little better and of course sharpen the blade up. But yeah, pretty cool blade shape. I like the Lockback. I got a pretty solid lockup, maybe just a tiny bit of play still up and down, left and right, but not very much. Thing is locked up. And one of the great things, listen to the snap. Let me try to push it like this. It really locks in there. But yeah, fun project. It was definitely frustrating at times. I mean, I was about ready to give up trying to get these pins back here in. That was very annoying. It took forever. It probably took half an hour. And another thing I learned is I should have put it together first and then polished things up, because I had the bolsters looking pretty dang good, and using the cutoff wheel because I had to cut those pins. I screwed it all up, and I went through the whole process. 220, 320, whatever it was, 400, 600, and 800. Polished it with a Dremel tool, and that's what I got. But yeah, if you want to try one of these, I think in the instructions it says advanced. I'm not sure where it says that, but right here, level of difficulty, you got beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Advanced is marked, and I thought it was more or less because, you know, you had to glue the covers onto the liners and all that. But, you know, it takes a little bit of work. It still needs a little bit of work done to it, but I'm calling this project done finally after a year of having it. And I hope you liked this video. It was, like I said, it was fun, but it was frustrating at the same time. And I'm glad I got it done finally, or done enough until I get back to it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Stick around, see what my next project's going to be. And I guess do the usual, you know, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. And until next video, bye.